Okay, let's continue. Let's look at the Cove Vertex, which will be going 3 in this direction and 3 in this direction. We could just sketch a rough sketch of our ellipse now. Um, Now we can find the foci. The foci will be along the vertex axis, or the largest one if it's an ellipse. So to find the vertex, you just plug it in this formula. Your a squared is going to be, that's your largest one. Okay? So it's going to be c squared equals 16 minus 9, which is c squared is equal to 7. So c is equal to square root of 7. We can find the exact value just so we can kind of see it. And square root of 7 is 2.6. About, if we round it, 2.6. So I'm going to go from the vertex, I'm going to go up 2.6. 1, 2. That's your value, somewhere in between there. And we can write this foci point as 0, comma, square root of 7, and the other one about right here at 0, comma, negative square root of 7. And that's how you graph it. If it was shifted, it will be the same thing. X minus h or y minus k, you would simply have a different center. Everything else is exactly the same. Okay? Let's do the same thing for a hyperbola. For the hyperbola, this has a center of 0, 0 if it's in this form. And now we're going to use these values to go and find our vertexes when we're dealing with the hyperbola. Same concept, but this time we sketch it a little differently. In this direction, I'm going to go 3 in the x direction. I'm going to go 4 in the other directions here. But this time, I'm going to sketch a little box, because with the hyperbola, it's not really, it's a little different. It's kind of like an ellipse turned outwards. It looks like basically two parabolas. Okay? Once you draw the box, you're going to draw a vertical line, excuse me, not a vertical line, but a line that goes diagonal through the different corners of the box. And this is just so you can sketch it. Okay? And now you literally just become an artist and you just sketch it. Those lines that you drew, those are asymptotes. And we can find the equation of those later. But I just want you to get a visual of the difference between the hyperbola and the ellipse. You graph them basically the same, but they look different. Okay? Now here's this is the actual lines that on this particular graph. Now the only thing we need to do is find our foci. We use this equation to find the foci. And remember, this time it's not along the axis with the largest value. It's along the axis that happens to be the first value, which is positive, which is this value here. So your foci is along the x-axis. And you just use this formula. So it's going to be c squared equals 16 plus 9. 16 plus 9 is 25. 25 equals c squared. C is equal to 5. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that direction, 5 in this direction. So my foci will be 5, 0, and negative 5, 0. And again, that's really all there is to it. Again, they may give you pieces of the puzzle, and you may have to go backwards, but if you remember and understand the main concept here, you can kind of get a picture of what you're doing. And the best thing to do, if they give you pieces of the puzzle, draw it. Because once you draw it, you should be able to kind of go backwards and figure out what you're missing.